Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is Duplex Built to Rent. My name is Juan Cristales. I'm a full-time real estate investor, and what we're doing right now is building duplexes to rent. As a matter of fact, we're going to be closing tomorrow on a duplex where we're going to be out of pocket, no money. We're able to do that because we have two rents. I can explain that all to you guys tomorrow. I'm going to break it down, show you the numbers, how everything worked out. It's actually a pretty good deal. Now, I know that right now it's very, very difficult to find cash flowing properties, especially when it comes to single family real estate. And so, what we've transitioned ourselves now is into duplexes because for the price of the land and the price to build it, all included, we can wrap all that into a 30-year fixed rate loan once the property is completely turnkey. So it's very cool. And let me show you guys a couple of pictures here on a different project, not the one we're closing tomorrow, but it's a completely different project where we have quite a bit of progress pictures going on because I haven't had a chance to do it. So at this point right now, guys, we have the framing going up. The roof framing is complete, and now you see how this guy's standing on a piece of plywood. That is going to be the actual roof decking. So this plywood holds up the shingles that are going to be going up. So that's what's happening right now, and we are getting that going. So check this out. We got this. What we use here in Texas is going to be the 7/16 or half-inch OSB, which is a composite piece of wood, which is like leftover bunch of pieces of wood. They're compressed together, and then some resin is put on there, and that creates this plywood, which is actually pretty good. Now, you see how the very top here is this different colored plywood. This is red fire rated plywood, and excuse me, we have to have that up there for the purposes of the firewall, right? Because this particular duplex, on the front side of it, you see this side here is going to be one side, and it's split right down the middle here, and then on the back side over here is a whole nother duplex. I'll show you guys a little bit more if you haven't seen these yet. That's the purpose of that. Here's what the fire rated plywood looks like from the inside out. We have the tech shield that we use for the rest of the plywood that's going to be going on the roof. And this basically works just as an insulation barrier, just to kind of keep the attic not be so hot. So as you can see here, they've done one side of the duplex. And so because the firewall is going to be right here in this area right here, this is all going to be the firewall. Then we use this red stuff on this side. We'll use some of the red stuff on this side, and then the rest will be tech shield, which is pretty standard practice, guys. I'm not doing anything super crazy here. But this is what it's looking like, man. It's looking good. We use the Tyvek thermo barrier. See, you can see it really well right here. Actually, this is pretty cool. This is a good picture. You see right there how this stuff is all red right there. That's because the firewall is essentially going to be splitting that right there. Boom, all the way this way, all the way to the top, and then all the way across down the middle. Okay, so we have to have that separation. That's part of building a duplex. You have to have a 1 hour firewall, especially here. That's specific to Texas. Other places may want you to have a 2 hour firewall. Here, they're only requiring us to have a 1 hour firewall between the two units. That's what it looks like when it comes together. There it is. It's looking good. Now the guys are putting in the windows. The framers, still the framers are going to be doing the same work. This is part of the responsibility, okay? So they're going to be putting in the windows. We have to put window tape on the exterior of the windows. They're not done yet. We're supposed to have some more tape here, and I'll show you guys some pictures as we go along, but you'll see here we're going to have a piece of tape here, and then another piece of over the top, and then we have a little metal piece that goes right there as well, and that's an inspection item. The inspection item that we have to pass at this point is going to be the thermo barrier and the window inspection. Now, I want to point something out here, man. These guys did a fantastic job. I'm actually very glad that these guys did such a good job. But you see these little cap nails that we have here. There's one on every single little portion where it's at. Man, I'm telling you, there's some contractors going to like fight you on it. They're going to want to just do one on, one off, one on, one off, and be like, it'll pass, it'll pass, it'll pass. And it will pass, but you know, according to what the manufacturer says on it, it's supposed to be every single one. If you're paying these guys and that's what you want, you need to tell them up front, hey, look, that's how we got to get it done. So everything's looking good. The windows are in. We're almost dried in here. Once we're dried in, the roof is on, and we can't. We essentially don't get water inside the unit. As you can see here, some of the tape has been done on the windows. We had to use we had to go for another roll of Tyvek. So one of the things that I really like to do is once the roof is on, man, I really hope it rains hard. And it really did rain hard on us pretty good. And I look for any potential issues that we might have with the roof. Right here, I'm just showing you guys the electrician has kind of gotten a little bit ahead, which is cool. You know, he's got some free time. He's like, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and, cheat up on the project. These things here are not, if it gets rained on, it's not going to be a big deal. So we're looking good. This thing's getting done. And okay, so right now what I'm measuring or what this guy's measuring is the soffit for the fascia. What's the fascia? So let me zoom in here. So that's not the fascia. I'm sorry, it's the soffit. So there's two things here that I need to show you guys real quick. So this right here is going to be the fascia. There's a piece of wood that goes right on top of this. And then here, this part right here is going to be the soffit. So we use a vented soffit. That means that it has these little holes in it so, heat can escape. Different temperature air can escape through there. So that's why it's got these little holes. What this guy's telling me is like, man, why everything that we made everything for 12-inch, which is this piece right here. He's like, why did we get 16-inch pieces of soffit? I don't know. So, the guy that delivered the material for us, we have to tell him like, hey man, we can't use this stuff. And then here's another thing that I showed him. He's like, dude, just rip off. So what he says, there's something in the industry called ripping. And what that means is you take a big piece like this and say, for example, you don't need as wide as this. So you just rip a piece off, right? And then you have the dimension that you need from here to here, right? That's, understandable, right? That makes sense. We can use something that nobody else is going to use. We got a good price for it. So let's just use that. But here was my challenge back to him. I'm like, dude, you gave me this 16-inch piece right here. This one's 16-inch. This one is 12 inches. So, but if I rip this off here, which is cool, right? We can use it. The little vented holes are not going to match, right? I mean, because look at this. This is right up to the edge. The little holes match, and then they don't match this little portion right here. It's going to be off, right? So I'm like, dude, I can't use these 16-inch vented soffit that you sent me. So I'm like, dude, send it back and, give me the stuff I need. Guys don't like that kind of stuff, but whatever, man. That's their deal. One of the other things that we use here is going to be this hardy siding. The hardy siding that we have to use, we have several that we have here. This is going to be 8.25-inch hardy siding that we use for the exterior of the house. We have this 1x6. Sorry, it's supposed to be a multiplication. This is going to be a 1x6 here that we use for the fascia, and the fascia is going to be the strip that goes along the side of the house. And then we have the soffits that I was just showing you, and then we have this 1x4 here. This 1x4 is the stuff that goes around the windows, and then we have this 1x2 stuff here that basically finishes off kind of like the decorative portion of the front of the house. And I'm going to show you guys all that stuff here in a second. But I just wanted to show you guys the different dimensions, different types of siding that we use on these projects. So here's what the finished product looks like now that it's dried in. We have the roof already finished off. Everything looks fantastic. There's a little piece. You see how there's like a little shiny thing right there? This right here, this is called Z flashing because it actually comes in it comes like this. It comes little metal pieces like this, right? And the purpose of this is that it goes behind. Let me draw it again. Z flashing. It's like this, right? This part here goes behind the top portion right there, and then it comes out and goes this way. So why do that? Because what you have right now is you have two pieces of siding that meet up right here, like this, right? And that's in this little area right there. They meet up. So what we do is we put a little piece of Z flashing right there so that prevents water from penetrating this way. And if it does, this is high enough on this side so that the water still comes out this way where it needs to. All right. That's part of the inspection item. You have to have that stuff in there. What we use here is these 4x8 pieces of hardy board right here. And then this is where this is the 1x2. This is the 1x2 stuff right here. These strips, all these decorative strips that we have right here. Those are 1x2. And then around the windows, you see how it's a different size. This is going to be the 1x4 right here. The stuff that goes right there, right here. All right. And then the 1x6 is this stuff right here. This is the fascia. And then the soffit, the vented soffit is the stuff that goes here. Although the vented soffit goes here in this area, but this area right here is non-vented. But your framers are going to know that information pretty easily. I'm just trying to give you guys some additional data points and like just knowledge and information of how everything's supposed to look like. But yeah, we're dried in officially, guys. We passed the window inspection. We passed the thermal barrier inspection. Everything's good. We got the doors in. The roof is on. The water cannot get inside the sucker right now. We need to clean up the area, probably cut a little bit of this grass. Next is going to be the MEPs, the mechanical, the electrical, and the plumbing. That's what's next right now. These guys are going to get in there. We have the framing inspection after the MEPs are completed. So that's the process. After you're dried in, MEPs, mechanical, which is the air conditioning, electrical, and the plumbing go in and do their portion, pass their inspections, and then we can go ahead and call in for the framing inspection. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today, man. Thanks so much for watching. This project is coming along. We are super, super excited, and it is looking great. And I'm going to share with you guys the numbers for all of the refinance and all the stuff that we did on the project that we're closing tomorrow. All right, I'll talk to you soon.